So my name is Lara. I work as a HR officer at Howard Smith Wharves. I guess I always knew that I wanted to do something with people, people-based, but I wasn't too sure exactly what I wanted to do. When I put down my preferences for uni, I put down arts because I thought that would give me a really good breadth of things that I could choose from and see what I wanted to do. And then a year after doing that and sort of making friends at uni, and I had met this girl who was in one of my psychology subjects in arts, and she was also doing business, majoring in HR. And yeah, just speaking to her about how she was enjoying the courses and how it was something she really wanted to do. That's what attracted me to start business in HR, because I knew I wanted a people-based role, and being in that corporate environment really spoke to me as well. I do work as a generalist, so that encompasses a lot of things within my role and what I do. So that can range from recruitment, performance management, payroll inquiries, general HR projects we have going on, organizational development, engaging the team. So yeah, there's a lot that goes into it. In one day, I could do anything from posting ads on Seek, screening resumes, booking in interviews, interviewing candidates for a multitude of roles that we have, completing phone interviews, reference checks, offering people onboarding, all the way to performance management, so conducting probation reviews, disciplinary meetings, helping other functions of the business if they need assistance with their people engagement. So yeah, it's really broad and it can vary day to day exactly what you're doing. So I completed a Bachelor of Business majoring in HR. A few of my colleagues, they completed a psychology degree. I work in the hospitality industry as well, so another one of my colleagues did hospitality and tourism management. So there is a few different pathways that you can go through to get into HR, but I would say that it is, for most organisations, an expectation to have a tertiary degree. In larger organisations, there's a lot more, it's a lot more separate. So there'll be a payroll team, a recruitment team, a general inquiries team, a performance management team, a case management team. Whereas at Howard Smith Wharves, where I work, it's a medium-sized business. We have about 800 employees. So there's a team of 4 or 5 that do everything. So in my role, I do all of those things. Whereas in those much larger organizations, you are more centered into one thing. I guess as well, working in the hospitality industry, it's a very fast-paced environment. There's always something happening down at the Wharves. There's a new restaurant, a new bar, a new chef. So yeah, it's very fast-paced. It would be really dependent on the organisation of what the HR function would look like. Because I work in hospitality, we have a lot of casual workers, like mostly casual workforce. So that impacts, all our workflows, our contracts, everything like that. It also is, we refer to many different awards and legislations. So there's a lot of shift work involved with hospitality as well, which would be different to if you were working in a more corporate setting where most people were working part-time or full-time. I think be organised is really important, and be able to prioritise what you have coming in for your day and see what needs to be addressed first and what can be addressed later. I also think empathy is a really big part of being in HR, because it is a people-based industry and you're dealing with people all day long. And I think it is really important to come from that place of empathy when dealing with a myriad of matters. And, work is such a big part of people's lives that it's really important that you're being empathetic in your interactions with people and really doing what you can to help them and assist them in their role. I guess a large part of entering the workforce is being able to communicate with such a large range of people. So whether that be your managers or people higher up in the organization, as well as your peers, contractors, you know, day to day you end up speaking with so many different people. So I would say as much practice as you can get with talking with different people from all walks of life, and being able to really engage with them and be able to, you know, get a shared outcome and get the best outcome for each of you is, yeah, really important and really worthwhile and would help in your career. In high school, I did drama, so that was really helpful in, you know, being public speaking, having to do all sorts of weird, crazy things and feeling comfortable in yourself and feeling confident to, you know, speak up for yourself and have, you know, challenging conversations. So yeah, definitely I would recommend, whether it's through, a sports team or an extracurricular activity, being able to, form those connections with different people is really helpful. The most rewarding thing about my role would be probably when we find a great candidate that's an awesome fit for the role that we're looking for, and they're really excited to join the company and we're really excited to have them, and just being able to make that connection and make that fit and see what we can do and make magic happen really with the right fit. In my experience, the most challenging part of the role that I do would be having awkward conversations, complex conversations, particularly when it comes to that performance management side of things. So, having disciplinary meetings and things like that, it's not always the most comfortable thing to do, especially when you know people within the organization and you're friends with them. But it is part of the role, and it is an important part of the organization as well. I think it's one of those things where the more you're able to, feel confident in yourself, the easier it is to have these difficult conversations. In my role, it is a very flexible role. So, and I think across a lot of organizations as well, there's, flexible start and finish times as long as you get your hours in. There's a lot more hybrid work models. So maybe 2 days at home, 3 days in the office. Also, you can do a little bit of both, maybe come in the morning for your meetings and then go home and work from home. So it's definitely more flexible than it was before. I do work in the hospitality industry, so a lot of our teams are, in our venues, chatting with our guests. So we do like to be really present and there for our team on site. But definitely more flexibility since COVID, which I do think is a really great thing. For the HR function, it's really about how we can support people in that flexibility, but also keeping our teams engaged. Because, if you're working from home 5 days a week, you're not really getting that interaction with your team, with the organization. It's hard to keep a culture and build a culture as well if no one's interacting. So I think it's about finding that balance between allowing flexibility and the benefits of that and really honoring that, but also seeing the need for team engagement, even small things like a morning tea or going for a work drink. Those things can be really positive for team culture, and just finding that balance where team members are happy and also engaged as well will be a really big struggle and a learning curve moving forward, I think. I do think there's lots of things within the HR function that can be automated. At the moment, we're looking at software that can help screen candidates, automatically rank them. They can read the resumes and pull out those things that we really want and bring them to the top. But I think there will always be space for, really that people connection looking forward, because you don't want a robot doing your performance review. I guess leading on from what I was saying earlier about that flexibility, you know, it has opened up so many opportunities for a range of different people to enter the workforce. So whether that's if you have a disability, you have children and you need more flexibility around their childcare or school times. So it's been really impactful for people to be able to enter jobs that they wouldn't have been able to enter before. And, you know, it's really opened up so many doors for so many people. And I think HR managers, it really is a great responsibility for them to be able to offer that diversity and inclusion to all different types of people and drive that within the organisation and outwardly as well. My piece of advice would be do work experience if you can. Lots of businesses and organisations are really willing to have, you know, students or uni students come in for 1 day a week, 2 days a week, and it's really, really valuable to go into an organisation and see what people do day to day. Because yeah, you don't know what it's like until you're really in it. So if you are interested in a particular path, I really would recommend you know, seeing what's out there within your network, within your community, if there's a business or a role that you're really interested in, even saying, oh, you know, could I just shadow you for a day and just see what you get up to, or could you jump on the phone and let me know what your day-to-day is like and see if that is of interest to you. I think that can give you a really great idea of the career path that you're looking into and really help you decide, because it can be a tricky decision. So my advice would be is just put yourself out there. You know, lots of businesses have a general contact email, and if you just reach out to them, even if you don't know anyone within that organisation, and say, you know, I'm really interested in your organisation. You know, maybe whether it's, oh, I've dined there before, or I use your product and I really love it and I'd really love to learn more about what you guys do in this particular role. You'd really be surprised by how many organizations are willing to help you out and show you around, and also how many opportunities can sort of begin from those sort of interactions and just having the confidence to reach out to people. You know, you never know what's happening within an organization, particularly in the recruitment space. You know, they could be thinking, oh, we're looking for a HR assistant to come in 1 or 2 days a week. Oh, but we don't really know anyone. And then you could send an email saying, hey, I'm looking for work experience 1 day a week. And they go, oh, perfect. That's exactly what we were looking for. We were going to post the ad tomorrow, but now we found someone. So yeah, it's always worth it putting yourself out there and asking those questions. Even if it's a little scary, I reckon 9 times out of 10, it'll pay off.